Good morning everyone. Welcome to HashLearn's Target IBPS Clerk 2018. In today's session, I will be discussing with you the alphabet and letter reasoning concepts for the reasoning part of the prelims exam of IBPS Clerk in 2018 that we are expecting. So in the previous session that I conducted for the reasoning module, I have covered for you the alphabet and reasoning part 1, in which we had a basic understanding of different types of alphabets, the alphabets of English language and the concepts of consonants and vowels, also the concept of the positional value of letter from the beginning, that is from the left end when we take A equal to 1, at the same time the positional value of the letters in the English alphabet from the end, that is when we take Z equal to 1, and we have discussed the techniques on how to find out the positions faster. In this session I will be discussing two new types of questions. One is based on position of letters or symbols in a sequence, and then we will also be looking at pattern based questions from letters and symbols. Alright. So that will be the main thing. So we will be looking at letter sequence, number sequence and a mixed sequence. There are three main things that we are going to talk about or discuss in today's session, along with problems. So mainly we will be using problems to establish the concepts and make you understand how the questions are solved and what kind of questions come in the examination. Alright. So let's start quickly with the first type of question, that is a mixed sequence. We have here letters and we have numbers, right, and we also have symbols. So it says the question is something like this. These questions are based on the following letter, number, symbol arrangement. Study the arrangement carefully and answer the questions that follow. This is what is called as the letter position concept, and if you look at the PO papers also till almost 2010, you will find one set of 5 questions from this sequence type in every paper. But from 2011 onwards, you will see that in the probationary officer examination this stopped coming, and the focus on puzzles increased a lot more, right? Whereas now this continued being a part of the clerk examination in the prelims as well as in the mains. This is not a high difficulty question, this is a basic type of question, so it's a very scoring question. So if you happen to find these questions in your set on the slot in which you appear in the examination, because you see some questions are fixed, some questions change from one slot to another in the prelims exams as well as the mains exam. So let's say you are taking the examination and you find this question in your slot, definitely attempt it. It's a very simple question, you can solve this easily, requires nothing but careful close attention to the sequence given to you, and don't be too fast. Sometimes by being fast we miss out on basic details and get the question wrong. ठीक है, तो बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चन है ये. आपके पास एक लेटर, नंबर और सिंबल का सीक्वेंस है, बस आपको पोजीशंस पता करने हैं और पैटर्न्स मैच करने हैं. So पहला क्वेश्चन जो यहाँ पे वो पैटर्न मैचिंग का है. लेट्स सी. So if you look at the question here, let me just select the ink color. Okay, 1 second, just a minute. Alright, so if you look at the question here, the 4 of the following 5 are alike in a certain way based on the position of the elements in the arrangement and hence form a group. Which one does not belong to the group? So one by one we'll start observing each of these. Like we have this first one which says $NF. So look at the sequence and see where do we find dollar. So dollar is here. So look at dollar and we look at N and we have F here. Okay. So how are these things related? So we'll say dollar is the number that comes first here, N is before and F is after. That is the sequence we get. Dollar, one previous to dollar, N is 9 is there, and one forward if you go from dollar we get F. Next look at this sequence R 6%. This also has a very similar kind of structure. If you look at R and if you go behind R, so first one is 6, and if you go forward then we get percent, that's R 6 and percent. Next we have this 8, P and U which also has the same sequence. So same type of structure. From first we go behind 8, so we get P, and then we go forward, we get U. So that's 8PU. Let's look at hash B4. In hash B4 again, from hash we go back to B, and then we go forward to 4. So all of them have a similar kind of a pattern, whereas 3BJ is a wrong one. Why is the wrong one? If you see here, in 3BJ we are going forward first. From 3 when we go forward we get B, and then when we go back we get J. So that's the odd sequence here. That is why, which is the one which does not belong to the group, the answer becomes E. So just make sure that you understand this type of question. So one question based on looking at patterns, finding out, looking at these sequence of numbers given to you in the answer option, finding something common in that sequence. उसमें common क्या है, कैसे हम ये numbers obtain कर रहे हैं, उस पर आप focus करिए. डॉलर पहले आता है, डॉलर से when you go back we get 9, and when we go forward we get F, and same logic is applied for the options B, C and D, but it is not there in the fifth answer option E, which is why the fifth answer option becomes the wrong answer. Next, move to the next question here. Alright, the same sequence I have taken, and there is the second question here. If all the symbols in the arrangement are removed, then which of the following will be third to the left of the 13th from the left? See, if nothing is mentioned in the question, the first thing you have to understand is that all letters are facing north. That's a common assumption that we make. And if all letters are facing north, then left is towards our left and right is towards our right. So if we take any letter number here, let's take for example A, then to the left of A, immediate left of A, what is there? 1 is there. Immediate right of A, what is there? J is there. So from A, when we are counting left, we are going to the left side, and from A, when we are counting right, we go to the right side. So this is our left and this is right, based on the assumption that all the letters are facing north. Okay, that's the main assumption here. Now based on this assumption, let's look at the question again. If all the symbols in the arrangement are removed, so if we remove the symbols here, we cancel dollar, percentage, right, hash, at, clear? These are the symbols that we had. So we remove the symbols, and then which of the following will be third to the left of the 13th from the left? If you take the 13th from the left, let's say this is the 13th to the left, then the 12th one, we got 11th one and the 10th one. So this 10th would be third to the left of the 13th to the left. So what we should do in this question to understand how to solve it faster, when we use left of left, left to left, you should subtract and count from left, subtract and count from left. So this part, if you understand, it will save time in the examination. Count from left. If you have right to right, right to right, what we should do? Subtract and count from right. If we get something like left to right, left to right, we can add and count from right. So this is one thing, add and count from right. And finally, if we get right to left, this will save time for you in the examination. Right to left, we should add and count from left. It's also easy to understand when you say to left, we count from left. To right, we count from right. Okay, to right means count from right, to left means count from left. left to left subtract, right to right subtract, left to right or right to left you add. So what we should see here, third to the left of the 13 to the left, 13 minus 3, we say 10th to the left, 10th to the left. That's how we save time here. The count here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what is the answer? The answer is R. Okay. So these kind of questions, the way you should solve, understand how to solve faster and how to count. So to left means you count from left to right, means count from right. When we say left to left or right to right, we should subtract. When you say left to right or right to left, you add. Okay, and then directly solve the question and get the answer. That is for the second question. Next we'll look at this question again. Here we have three combinations given to us. I think something is missing here. One second, I'll just correct this part. So EDH is given to you and 9E7 should be there. Okay, so 9E7, just I think in typo error, 9E7. Okay, so we'll just try to verify this while solving the question itself. We'll develop how these numbers have come. Okay, so what will come in the place of the question mark in the following series based on the above arrangement? So we know that there's a combination of three letters, numbers, symbols, and based on the relationship of these that are given to you, we have to find out what will come in the place of the question mark. So let's start with the first one, that is EDH. Look at where E is there. And what we are doing from E, we are going 2 positions back, that is how we get D, and when we go 1 position back we get H, and that is how we get EDH. Now from E we skip 2 positions to go to 9, from 9 again we are going 2 positions back to get E, and 1 position back to get 7. Okay. Now if we skip again from 9 we go 3 forward again. So here we have from E we are going, in fact it should be $97. So that is what I was thinking about this correction. It's not 9E7. I'll just correct the entire thing. 1 second. Just let's change the entire question and look at the question from the beginning. Okay. So dollar should be here. Okay, this is $97. Okay, all right. So first start with again EDH. So from E when we go 2 positions back we get D, and when we get 1 position back we get H. Now we skip from here 1, 2, 3. From dollar we get one second, let me say something is definitely missing here. 9E7. Okay, all right. Let's just take this 9E7 and solve. So 9E7, from this we go 1 forward again, $F. So I again we are going back 2, and then 1 back we get F here. So we get $F. So what should come next here? We have 6%, R and percent. So we go 2 forward, R I6. From 9 we have got 1 forward we go to F, 2 forward we go to I. So 2 forward here percent, when we go 1 back here we get 6, and 1 back here R. So percent 6R should be the answer. Basic idea is to look at the pattern and see how we are going forward or backward from the pattern. Some confusion is there because of this missing letter here, which is what is creating a little confusion in this question, may because of some kind of a typo error. But yet to understand how do we go ahead with these questions, look at the pattern, how we are moving from one letter to the next letter, and based on that pattern we try and solve the question. Okay, so that's how we go about question number 3, something like question number 3. Now let's look at question number 4. which element will be fifth to the right of the ninth from right. So we have right to right, 9 minus 5, that is equal to fourth to right. So we are looking at fourth to right. If all the numbers are removed from the above arrangement, so let us remove the numbers here, 2, 8, 4, 3, 1, 6, 9, 7 and 5, and we count from the right. So fourth to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, the answer will become K. That's fourth answer option will be A. That's the benefit of understanding that. How do we count? Right to right means we count from right, and since it's right to right we subtract 9 minus 5, fifth to the right of the ninth from the right. So 9 minus 5 is fourth to the right. What we should do also? Remove the numbers. If all the numbers are removed from the above arrangement. Let's go to the fifth question. How many such numbers are there in the above arrangement, each of which is immediately followed by a consonant and but not preceded by a vowel? Please see here. So how many such numbers are there? So first you should make the pattern that you are looking for. How many such numbers are there in the above arrangement, each of which is immediately followed by a consonant, should be followed by a consonant but not preceded by a vowel. So what can come behind? Anything except vowel can come. That means a number can come, or a consonant can come, or a symbol can come. The basic idea is that a vowel should not come. So first let us look for number consonant pairs. How many such number consonant pairs are there, and then we will see whether the number is preceded by a vowel or not. So starting from here, number followed by a consonant. So here we have 5 and D. It is followed by a consonant but not preceded by a vowel, so that could also be one option, but let's go ahead now. 7, it's not followed by a consonant, so this number we can cancel out. Then 9, it's not followed by a consonant, so we are looking for number consonant pairs here first, okay. Then we go to 6 and R, it is followed by a consonant but not it is also preceded by a vowel, so we have to cancel 6. Let's go forward here carefully and look at any number here. 1, it is followed by a vowel, so we are not looking for this number. 3 is followed by a consonant and it is preceded by a consonant, so 3 is definitely one correct pairing that we have got here. Now 4 is followed by a symbol, so we cannot take 4, and 8 is followed by a vowel, so we cannot take 8, and 2 is not followed by anything, so we cannot take 2. So looking at the numbers that we have, one is that 5D, but it is not preceded by anything, so that we cannot consider. So the only thing which is right here is J3B, and J3B is the one which is satisfying this condition that the number should be followed by a consonant but it should not be preceded by a vowel. J3B is the only one which is right, where we say that the number is followed by a consonant, B is a consonant, and it is not preceded by a vowel, so J is not a vowel. So the answer is that there is one such arrangement in this particular question which satisfies the criteria that we have mentioned in the question. Clear? So this is how there will be a set of 5 questions based on this letter, number, symbol series questions in the examination. Alright. So please understand how to solve it. It's a very simple question, just careful observation is required. Sometimes we miss out on one vowel here or one consonant there and get the wrong answer. Just be careful while solving the question, pay close attention to the letter sequence on the series and then get all the answers right. Now we will see the previous session contest question. Find the odd one out from the letters in the option below. We have letters A and we have H and we have M, T and U. Now the odd one out here is 2 vowels are there, 3 consonants are there, so we can definitely not solve this based on vowel and consonants. The logic used for this question is based on the mirror image of the question, mirror image of the letters in the question. If you take the mirror image, all these letters will have the same form. So if you take A, if you take the mirror image of A, it's a vertical mirror, then the resulting figure will also be, and the same is true for H, M, T and U also. But when you take a vertical image, a horizontal image, sorry, if you take the horizontal image, then what will happen? A will change. The horizontal image of A is not same as A itself. And same thing is true for M also. M also, the horizontal image is not same. T again changes when we take the horizontal image, and U also changes when we take the horizontal image. A also changes except H. Everything changes. You see, H remains same. Even if we take a horizontal image or vertical image, H will not change. That is why H is the odd one out from the options given below, right? Find the odd one out from the letters. Sometimes the advanced concepts based on reflection of a letter on the vertical mirror or reflection of a letter on a horizontal mirror can be used for creating this advanced kind of questions based on letters. That is the contest question from the previous session on alphabets and letters. Okay, now let's look at the contest question for today. How many such pairs of letters are there in the word execution, each of which has as many letters between them in the word as they have between them in the English alphabet? Very similar question to this I have already discussed in my previous session. So if you had followed the session, you'll be able to solve and get the answer very quickly. So read the question, solve the question and post the answer in the comment section below. Alright, so I will be discussing the solution for this question in my next alphabet letter reasoning class. So now we will continue with the topic of alphabet letter reasoning 2, and let's look at the question that is based on patterns and positions. Clear? So again, now there is a lot of instruction here on the screen that you can see very clearly. This is also one of the questions that was almost a fixed part of the banking examinations probationary officer till 2009-10. Post 2010, you can see this question coming in the clerical examination, in the prelims, and later on from 2015-16 when we introduced the mains, there also. So this is one question that is now exclusive to the clerical examination, but there is no such thing that it cannot come in the PO exam. It can come in the PO exam too. Let's look at the question again and read the directions given in the question. In each of these questions, a group of letters is given, followed by 4 combinations of numbers, symbol, numbered 1, 2, 3 and 4. So in each question, you can see one combination is given, followed by options A, B, C, D. Okay, so we have options A, B, C, D. Now we have to find out which is the right option, which is the right option. If none of the options are right, then we should put none of these as the answer. Clear? So what is this question telling you? What is the direction telling you? That in each of the questions, a group of letters is given, followed by 4 combinations that you can see here. This is the group of letter. Okay, so here we have, this is the group of letter we are talking about, and there are 4 combinations, 1, 2, 3, 4. Clear? Now we have to use the information given to find out which of these combinations is correct. If none of them are right, then the answer becomes none of these. That is what is the first part of the directions from here to here. Okay, alright. Now let's look at the second thing, letters and number symbols. So what is given to you? A number symbol combination is given to you. Here we have letters M, B, D, K, Q, L, I, R, J, S, N, P, A, E, G. This is the scheme and condition given below, right? So this is what we mean by scheme and condition given below. So first of all, let's look at the scheme. We have these letters M, B, D, K, Q, L, I, R, J, S, N, P, A, E, G, followed by the symbols and digits given below. At 3, 7%, this tree symbol, 4, hash, 1, 2, pound symbol, 8, 5, 9, dollar symbol and 6. So what we mean to say is that M is equal to at, That's a one-to-one correspondence. B is equal to 3, D is equal to 7, K is equal to %, Q is equal to this tree symbol, that's the club symbol from cards, okay. L is equal to 4, I is hash, R is 1, J is 2, S is the pound symbol, N is 8, P is 5, A is 9, E is dollar, and G is 6. So that's the scheme. So we have a sequence of letters followed by numbers and symbols with one-to-one correspondence. Now based on this, there are 3 conditions also given to us. Look at the first condition. If the first letter is a vowel, in a group of letters, if the first letter is a vowel and the last a consonant, then what should be done? Both are to be coded as a code for the consonant. This is what we mean by condition. So we have a scheme followed by a condition. If the first is a vowel and last a consonant, then both must be coded based on the code for the consonant. What is the next condition? If the first is a consonant and last a vowel, the previous case was when first is a vowel and last a consonant. If the first is a consonant and last is a vowel, consonant, vowel, the codes for the first and last are interchanged. That is the second condition. Third is, if no vowel is present in the group of letters, the first and last letters are to be coded as the copyright symbol. 3 conditions are there. Based on the 3 conditions, we have to solve and find out the correct answer. So let's start doing this. Look at this particular sequence of letters. Do you see any vowel there? No. If vowel is not there, that means the starting must be a copyright and ending should be copyright. That means the answer option most likely is A. If you are in a hurry and you want to take a little bit of risk, you can mark A as the answer and go forward. Suppose there are 5 questions, then maybe one will have answer as none of these, and you can get 4 marks, maybe negative 0.25, 3.75 marks you'll get in less than 2 minutes. That's a good enough bargain. But if you want to get all 5 questions right, by spending a little extra time, then that also can be done. For that, what we should do is verify whether the other symbols and numbers are right or not. So what is Q? Q is the tree symbol, so that's right. What is R? R is 1, so this is also correct. And then what is D? D is 7, so D is 7, that's correct. And what is B? B is 3, so that's correct. The entire thing is correct here. So answer is definitely A. The answer is not none of these. So again, what I am saying, if in a hurry you want to do it quickly, just look at the sequence of letters. First is there are no vowels in the sequence. सीक्वेंस में एक भी वावल नहीं है, इसलिए आप डायरेक्टली मार्क कर सकते हैं आंसर को ए, क्योंकि कॉपीराइट होना चाहिए स्टार्टिंग और लास्ट. लेकिन अगर 5 क्वेश्चन दिया हुआ है तो चांसेस है कि उस 5 में से एक आंसर नन ऑफ दीज हो. ऐसे में आपको एक नेगेटिव मार्क मिलेगा, 4 मार्क्स आपका सही होगा. 4 - 0.25 विल एंड अप विद 3.75 मार्क्स. बट दिस विल टेक लेस देन 2 minutes टू सॉल्व. दैट इज अ गुड थिंग. बट इफ यू वांट ऑल द 5 marks, because sometimes that 1 mark extra can make a lot of difference, then you just have to verify the other letters and symbols also. ठीक है, चलिए अब नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. 7. स्टार्टिंग वॉवल है, एंडिंग कॉन्सोनेंट है. द फर्स्ट लेटर इज वॉवल, लास्ट द कॉन्सोनेंट. both are to be coded for the code of the consonant. So what is the code for the consonant S here? S is pound symbol. That means the answer should be C. So we have to just verify whether other symbols and digits are right or not. बाकी के symbols और digits कैसे हैं वो देखना है बस हमें. तो स्टार्ट करना है P से. क्या P 5 है? Yes, P 5 है. So P सही हो गया, 5 करेक्ट है. Now E is dollar. Yes, E is dollar, so this is also right. Now what about B? B is 3, so the third one is also right. And what is Q? Q is the club symbol, so fourth is also right. So definitely the answer is C. वैसे भी अगर हम C मार्क करते तो सही होता, बस वही है कि चांस है 20% चांस है रॉन्ग होने का. बट नॉर्मली अगर आप डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ आंसर ऑप्शन देखिएगा तो आपको ये लगेगा कि सेट में जब 5 क्वेश्चन आते हैं उसमें मैक्सिमम एक का आंसर नन ऑफ दीज होता है. ठीक है, मैक्सिमम. और इसका कोई गारंटी नहीं है, हो सकता है 2 भी हो, लेकिन वो डिपेंड करता है एग्जामिनेशन में आप किस पोजीशन पे हो और आप कैसे सॉल्व करना चाहते हो. राइट नाउ यहाँ पे आप थर्ड को देखिए. थर्ड क्वेश्चन, व्हाट इज द कंडीशन अप्लाइड हियर? look at the conditions given to you. First is a consonant, last is a vowel. That means condition 2 will apply. First is a consonant and last is a vowel. So बहुत simple सा question है ये. First is a consonant, last is a vowel, correct? So what should be done? The codes for the first and last are interchanged. So what is the code for R? Code for R is 1. And what is the code for I? The code for I is hash. That means हमारा आंसर स्टार्ट होना चाहिए हैश से और एंड होना चाहिए 1 पे. क्लियर? सो कौन सा है हैश 1 पे एंड हो रहा है? D. So most likely the answer is D itself. Just let's verify the other letters. So what is M? M is at, so that's correct. You can see that M is at here. ठीक है. Now A की वैल्यू क्या है? A है 9. So A भी सही हो गया. Now P क्या है यहाँ पे? P is 5. So that's also right. And what is S? S is the pound symbol. So that means the answer is D, and D is the right answer. Just match the other letters with their respective digits and symbols. Verify, spending another 10 seconds, verify quickly so that you don't get negative marks. Okay. So third question also we have done. Let's move to the fourth question. Okay. Now quickly, how fast you are in observing, and do you recall the conditions or not? Are you going to read the conditions again and again? That is also very important. आपने condition पढ़ा, उसको mind पे रखिए. पहला vowel, last consonant क्या करना है? पहला consonant है, last vowel है, तो क्या करना है? और अगर पहला पूरे sequence में एक भी vowel नहीं है, तो क्या करना चाहिए? ये तीनों चीज़ अगर आपके mind में हो, तो आपको बहुत ही simple हो जाता है. जब पहला vowel है, last consonant है, both are to be coded as the code for the consonant. पहला consonant है, दूसरा vowel है, तो codes interchange करेंगे, और एक भी vowel नहीं है तो स्टार्टिंग और एंडिंग में कॉपीराइट लगाएंगे. ओके, ठीक है. सो यहाँ पे कंडीशन 1 अप्लाई हो रहा है. फर्स्ट इज अ vowel, लास्ट इज अ कॉन्सोनेंट, बोथ आर टू बी कोडेड एज अ कोड फॉर द कॉन्सोनेंट. कॉन्सोनेंट कौन सा है यहाँ पे? n है. n की वैल्यू क्या है? n का कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग वैल्यू है 8. मतलब हमारा आंसर 8 से स्टार्ट और एंड होना चाहिए, जो कि है यहाँ B. क्लियर? So answer most likely B है, but we have to verify the other symbols and digits also. So what is R? R is 1, so yes, this is right. What is E? You can see here E is dollar symbol, so that's again right. What is M? M is at symbol, so this again is right. And finally Q is the pound symbol, so that's right. The answer becomes B. Clear? So fourth question also we have seen. Now let's go to the last question from this set of the scheme and the conditions given to us. So now you look at quickly the sequence of letters given to you. Which condition applies here? Third condition, because we don't have any vowel in the sequence given to you. What do we do when we don't have any vowels in the sequence? The third condition says the starting and ending both will be coded as a copyright. Means that our answer should start in copyright and end in copyright, which is D here, but we should always verify whether the right answer is D or not. So let's look at J. J is 2, which is right here. J is correct. B is, what is B? B is 3. Now what do we have here? 9. So that means it is not correct. Answer is not D. That means the answer will become E. Okay. So to not miss out on this one question that has none of these as the answer, we were verifying the other letters also in the combination given to us in the question. but question आप बहुत जल्दी कर सकते हैं एग्जाम में, अगर आपको प्रैक्टिस हो, और अगर आप एक एक चीज़ चेक ना कर रहे हो तो कम से कम 4 तो सही हो जाएगा, और अगर काफ़ी स्पीड है तो आप इसको 1.5 मिनट्स में भी सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. very helpful, and if you get this question set in the examination, never miss out on it. It's a very simple, but read the conditions carefully. Just because you are in a hurry, you should not be making any mistakes. So you should be fast but not rash. Clear? You should be fast but careful. Accuracy is as important as attempting good number of questions in the examination. ठीक है, आपने बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट किए, आप बहुत जल्दी कर रहे थे, 30% क्वेश्चन रॉन्ग हो गया, आप कभी कट ऑफ क्लियर नहीं कर पाइएगा एग्जाम में अगर ऐसी गलती करिएगा तो. राइट? सो केयरफुल, बी केयरफुल while solving questions. Now let's look at the last question from today's session, that is based on again letters and alphabets, a little different from the previous 2 sets of questions that we have seen. Find the odd one out from the answer options below. Now based on the technique discussed in the previous session also, we can solve this question mainly based on that. Look at the pattern here. So first of all, look at M, O and K and see, can you find out how these are linked with each other? We know M, N, O, so from M when we go forward, 2 forward we get O, and from O if we go back, K, L, M, N, so we are going 4 back to get K. But the same thing is not applicable when we look at I, S, G, because from I if we go 2 forward we are not going to get S, clear? And from S if we are going 4 backwards we are not going to get G. So that's and again here in I and G, see G, H, I, that's one thing that's common here, G, H, I plus 2, and K, L, M is also plus 2, D, E, F is also plus 2, you know, I, J, K is plus 2, H, I, J is plus 2. So in all of these G, H, I, K, L, M, so we have this plus 2 in every one, every sequence we have a plus 2. But then we have to find the odd one out. Now this is the common property. So what we have to think is, how do we get the middle one, right? How do we get the middle letter? Can we find out a relationship between M and K and O? So let's look at the positional value of M. What is the positional value of M? So we say M is the 13th letter because O is 15th, right? And K is the JK, that K is 11th letter. And we know O is the 15th letter. Okay, let's look at I, S and G also. I is the 9th letter because J is 10th, and G, E is 5, so G is 7. And we see here that S is how much? So S is 19 because T is 20. I am using the sequence BJOT, which I have already discussed with you in the previous session, where we say that B is 2 and the others are 5, 10, 15, 20 and 25. So that's how I am getting quickly the positional value. 13 plus 11 is 24, and this is 15 minus 9. 9 plus 7 is 16, and this is 19 as plus 3, so that's not giving us a direct link, but let's see something else. 13 plus 11 is 24. So what is exactly the logic of this question? 13 plus 11 is 24 and 24 by 2 is 12, and the value of O is 15, and you see 15 plus 12 is 27. So these are opposite letter numbers, okay? When we take the opposite letters, add up their positional values, they add up to 27. That logic is used here, okay? So 9 plus 7 is 16, and 16 by 2 is 8, and the positional value of S is 19. You can see 19 plus 8 is 27, so that's also a common property. Let's check with F, V, D also. F, V and D. F is the 6th letter, D is the 4th letter, and V is the 22nd letter. You can see here 6 plus 4 is 10, and we know 10 by 2 is 5, so 10 by 2 becomes equal to 5, and then what happens? 22 plus 5, 22 is the position of V, so 22 plus 5 is 27, that's a common property. Let's check one more, KRI, because once we check KRI, we'll know whether the answer is KRI or the other one out. So if KRI also follows the same logic, then the odd one out will become JRH. So IJK is the 11th letter, just a minute, okay. K is the 11th letter, and I is the 9th letter, okay. Now R is the 18th letter, just let's verify here. 11 plus 9 is 20, and 20 by 2 is 10, and 10 plus 18 becomes equal to 28, which is not 27. Therefore the odd one out is D itself, that is KRI. Now this is based on slightly advanced concept. More logical ability is required for solving this question as compared to the previous two questions that we have discussed in sets. So a question from alphabet and reasoning can be very simple, it can even become very complex, right? And that is the beauty of this particular concept. We can make a very difficult question or a simple question, and so you should be well prepared for the examination, understand every type of question and concept, also a brief understanding of how difficult or easy a question type can be. Alright, so two more sessions are there from alphabet and reasoning where we will be discussing very important concepts like series, alphabet and letter series as well as grids and diagram based questions. Now grids and diagrams again has not been that popular in banking examination, but we should always be prepared for what is new that can come in the examination. So that will be the next 2 sessions. So now for this session it's time for the class practice pack, in which I have 10 questions. I have selected 10 questions for you based on patterns and sequence of letters, numbers, and try to solve those questions based on what I have discussed in the class today. So those who have passport access, once you hear the sound, start solving the question. The question that most of you will get wrong, I will be discussing in my next session. So best of luck to you, and thank you for watching the video.